Welcome back. And this is just a picture that I love because it shows this sense of collaboration. And on it, I've kind of mapped out some of these really positive emotions that help us on this journey. And I don't think I need to talk a lot about each one of them, but I'll just talk a little bit about each. So, the opposite of lack of gratitude is gratitude. What are you grateful for? Do you wake up every morning and say, Alhamdulillah, I'm very, very grateful and blessed because I have good health, I have a career, I have people that I love, I have people that love me, I'm in a safe place, I can breathe, I can see, I can hear, I can walk, I can use the bathroom. Listen, when you become aware of these really small things that we take for granted. I was talking to my friend the other day. He's an excellent doctor, and I was just telling him because I'd hurt my I'd hurt my calf muscle while I was training, and I was in a lot of pain. And for 2 weeks, I was just walking with this limp, and I was really in a lot of pain. And then one day I woke up and it was gone, and I was like, "Oh wow, okay, my body has healed." Alhamdulillah. And then I talked to him, I told him, dude, we take for granted that, when we cut ourselves or we're wounded, we don't kind of like consciously say, oh, I want to send the blood to my wound and I want to, create collagen and I want to close off the wound and clot the blood. We don't do that. That's a subconscious, unconscious, function of the body along with hundreds of thousands of other things that are happening without our control. Isn't that something to be grateful for? And when I told him that, he's like, you have no idea. He's like, you have no idea what goes on behind the scenes. So, gratitude, right? Resilience. Now, resilience is a very, very, very important and crucial skill set in positive psychology. And basically, what resilience is the capacity to just have the grit, the perseverance, the belief that when things go down, you just keep going. You put your head down, you keep going, and you're resilient, and you're strong, and you have perseverance, and you have grit. And again, I remember I saw this drawing of an ECG, like the ups and downs of the heart, and it had this beautiful quote. It's like, if it's a flat line, you're dead, right? So it's very normal. Like that Dire Straits song, why worry? There must be sunshine after rain. These things have always been the same, and so on. So it's a universal law, the law of rhythm. Things go up, things go down, things go up, things go down. And flat line means death. So when you're down, have the resilience, and to shoot up. And when you're up, be very aware that at any point in time you can go down. So resilience, right? Peace. I'm somebody who really believes in even the word salam basically means peace, and that's how I greet everybody. And it's very important to have this sense of peace with others, peace with self, peace with circumstance. Peace, not war. Peace. Forgiveness. We're going to do an exercise about forgiveness, which is a beautiful exercise. But again, until we get there, we're going to talk about the importance of forgiveness. You don't hold grudges against people because you don't know their stories. You don't know their narratives. You don't know what they've been exposed to. Listen, again, we're not saints. You don't know a lot about what others have been through. You don't know what I've been through to be standing here in front of you and telling you this. That story of those two accidents, like I said, are just a very, very, very small part of a lot of things that I've been through on my journey. And getting traumatized or being transgressed upon or being abused, it's okay. Because let me tell you, forgiveness is an act of self-love. Forgiveness is an act of self-compassion. We forgive for ourselves, for our own well-being, not for others. It's not about them, it's about you. So when you make the decision to forgive someone, you're doing it because you've decided I'm letting go of holding on to this toxic energy that's just bringing me down. It's a burden. I've let go. I forgive, right? Love. I don't need. What can you say about love? Love yourself, love others, love the world. Just be giving. There's so much to say about love that I'm not going to say anything, because love is just, it's a very, very powerful, beautiful emotion. You can't say much about it. You have to feel it, and it's well, I've written a song about it, so not just one. Empathy. There's a lot to talk about in empathy. We talk about, so empathy is basically the capacity to put yourself in other people's shoes and see the world through their own eyes and feel what they're feeling, and see things through their own perspective. And that's a very, very, very important and vital skill set in leadership. And it's also the core of when you talk about innovation and design thinking and business model canvas and all these things, which I'm also specialized in. You have to empathize with your customer or your user to know their pain point before you start designing for them. You have to empathize with your partner so that you know what it is that you need to do to so that you could gel, so that there could be this harmony. You need to empathize with your colleagues and your staff so that where you find that meeting point to start off, to collaborate. Empathy is just a very, very, very important positive emotion, and it really helps with the acceptance, it helps with the mindfulness, it helps with a lot of things. Joy. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you a nice story, but I remember speaking with this friend of mine, and he seemed a little bit down. So I told him, and that's the next question in the next slide, what are the things that make you laugh and celebrate? So I told him, what are the things that make you laugh and celebrate? Just like, yeah, I love camping, and I love scuba diving, and I love playing music, and I love to travel, and I love to go out with my friends, and I love to play board games, and I love to go to the movies. And so he made a list of all these things, like 10 things. And I said, okay, that's fantastic. So how often do you do these things? And he just went silent, and he's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, yeah, you're investing your energy and your time on things that you don't really like or you have to do, but you don't have this work-life balance, and you're not aware that you're wasting so much time on things that are useless, like watching 4 hours of TV or sitting in a coffee shop for 3 hours, whilst you could be investing this energy and this time doing things that you love and developing yourself and building relationships and being happy, having joy. The next one, I think, is this idea of kindness. And, I don't really need to talk much about that, but just be gentle with people and be nice to them and smile at them. And because the world is a mirror to your own heart and soul, really. And you get what you give, and you project what you project, you get back. So if you're upset that the world is mean and people are mean to you, I like this one. So when you're pointing a finger at someone, realize that you're actually pointing 3 back to you and 1 up. So be very clear with the fact that, yeah, you're doing this to me. Well, look at yourself. You are very much, the results that you get in your life are very much a reflection of the energy that you're giving out in your life. And karma is real. So be kind to people. And when we talked about acceptance, so we talked about that in the mental positive skill sets. But in this case, acceptance really is about doing your best. So fantastic book, Don Miguel Ruiz, is called The 4 Agreements. Highly recommended. So he talks about how in the last one, so the 4 agreements are be impeccable with your word. So that's just telling the truth to yourself. Remember the lies, but telling the truth to others as well. Never taking anything personally. So that's the whole sphere of influence, sphere of concern, personal responsibility. Yeah. Never assuming anything. So we make these assumptions. But the last one is always do your best. And I really like that, because always doing your best ties in very much with this idea of acceptance. Why? Well, if you always do your best, and then you're just kind of like, okay, I did my best, and here's here's what happened. If you didn't do your best, you're always going to be like, oh, well, I should have done a bit more because maybe things would have turned out differently. But acceptance is really about, for me personally, it's about having a vision, having these goals, saying this is where I want to go, and really doing your best, and then being completely at peace with the results that come back. Because this is related a little bit to also understanding that there are many things that we are not aware of, that we don't know. So in the realm of our own personal power, our thoughts, our emotions, our actions, let's do our best, but then accept whatever it is that comes our way. So I hope that this little introduction into these positive emotions, gratitude, resilience, peace, forgiveness, love, empathy, joy, kindness, acceptance, very, very wonderful positive emotions that will help us to activate the positive emotional energy. Before now, we will move into lecture number 12, where we are going to actually talk about the positive psychology exercises, and we're going to we're going to apply some of these ideas into practical exercises that will help raise our positive energy and help us to activate that positive emotional energy. So, I'll see you there.